this quarterback. Do you want Shedeur or do you want, let's launch into it, Shedeur Sanders or Tyler Shuck? Speak when I name a quarterback that you would take over Shedeur Sanders. I heard a peep out of you, yeah, but I didn't
see his name on the list. Was that one on there?
It's on the okay. No. Cam Ward.
Yes.
You would take Cam Ward.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said name a quarterback I would take Shedeur over.
We're giving you an option. Who do you want? Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, right?
Basically, what we were trying to do is name off a bunch of quarterbacks without Emory saying anything.
Oh, okay. Oh, the game that they do on Viral that it goes on there. Okay.
It's a Viral.
Now I get it.
Yeah, okay. All right, so here we go. So you already said Cam Ward, you'd rather have Shedeur Sanders. So let's keep going here. Jameis Winston, Justin Fields, Geno Smith, Jacoby Brissett, J.J. McCarthy, Tua, Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud.
I'll take C.J. Stroud.
Danny, how soon would you have stopped me there on that list?
Let me see the list again.
Yeah.
For one game, right now. I would take Cam Ward. I would take him over. I would take Jameis over him. I would not take Justin Fields. I would take Geno Smith. I mean, he's a veteran. He's played a lot more football. Jacoby Brissett would probably not. I'd probably lean towards Shedeur. J.J. McCarthy, I think, is going to be a bust. I thought that was a way far of a reach for Minnesota, so I don't have a problem with that one. That's probably it.
Okay, so you took a few.
Yeah, I took a few.
Where Emory stopped us at Trevor Lawrence. So,
and I would have said, and I will say this though, because they asked me this question before, and obviously I had Trevor Lawrence as a higher graded prospect, but I mean the way he was connecting with Cardinal defenders Sunday, it was amazing how accurate he was in hitting those guys with the football. So it's like, man, I actually like Lawrence. But, man, it's the helter-skelter nature of his game, which it bugs me crazy.
Oh, I'll tell you something all day. If I get Trevor Lawrence at $50+ million as his salary, or I get Shedeur on his rookie deal, I'm taking Shedeur all day long.
All right, how about Shedeur or C.J. Stroud right now?
C.J.
Oh, yeah.
You would take
Yeah,
CJ?
I mean, his career kind of feels like it's at a crux, but we did see an entire season where he was phenomenal for the Texans, and then they didn't provide him much support last year. The offensive line, he's taken a pounding, but I still would take C.J. Stroud.
All right, Emory, what do you see this week, Shedeur Sanders, in his first home start against the San Francisco 49ers?
I actually think they win the game, and it's funny because this game will look a lot like it did in 2023 when P.J. Walker was a starter and a healthier, better version of San Francisco was out there. This is all about the Browns' defense giving you multiple chances at bat to have some success. And to be completely fair and honest, when you look at what Shedeur Sanders did both in the preseason and right now last week, he scored the most points for him to step in and get a very close win. It may look a lot like that Raiders game, but a win nonetheless.
I mean, I like the way that Emory's talking here because that Browns defense, they play like, I mean, they had 10 sacks. Yeah. I mean, if they do that again, then they can beat anybody on their schedule if the defense is that dominant. And this is a great opportunity. That's why when Shedeur was drafted in the 5th round to the Browns, it's like take aside everything and being disappointed about where you're drafted. I thought it was a great opportunity because I thought there was a chance he could beat out Dylan Gabriel. And with Joe Flacco's uncertainty, I thought he would get to play. And so now we get that opportunity to evaluate him. And it's a great position to be in because you don't have to force the issues. You don't have to make the big plays. And he did make a couple big plays in that game against the Raiders. I just think, I think he's got to continue to develop. I think he'll continue to improve. And I think you don't have to ask him to put the team on his back and lead him around up and down the field, which I think it could be a place where he could thrive.
All right, we're going to do more quarterbacks here. How about Shedeur Sanders, Emory, or Mason Rudolph? Yeah, I feel like I knew the answer to that one. So, Noah, do you want him to speak or not? Okay, you can just answer the question now. You don't have to not speak. Kyler Murray or Shedeur Sanders?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say give me Shedeur. I can't trust. As soon as I get excited about Kyler Murray, then Kyler Murray happens. And it's crazy because I thought the Cardinals would win that division based on how they look on paper, and you expect Kyler to take the next step. I can't trust him now. He's in that Trevor Lawrence category.
I think Shedeur is a better leader than Kyler Murray. So I think Kyler Murray's probably more gifted. Clearly, as a runner, his arm talent's pretty top tier. But the one question mark I've had for Kyler Murray, and it's been kind of following throughout his tenure, has been: do the guys follow him? Does he do the preparation? And I think Shedeur does. I think he probably has a better understanding of the system already, maybe than Kyler Murray does, because Kyler has admitted he just doesn't rely that much on film study. I would say Shedeur.
Okay, Shedeur over Kyler. How about Shedeur or Bo Nix, Emery?
Give me Shedeur. And again, I like Bo Nix. He reminds me so much of Haynes King. But again, if you can give me Bo Nix, fourth quarter Bo Nix for the full game, I'm all in. But you can't get fourth quarter Bo Nix. You got to get Bo Nix in how he comes in out the box. I can't trust him down to down, quarter to quarter, outside of the fourth quarter. So I will go with Shedeur there.
How many wins does Bo Nix have this year?
Well, he's got about 9 in a row right now.
Yeah,
8 in
and
a row.
I would say his ability to come through when his team needs him would have me lean slightly towards Bo Nix.
Okay, I think going for 9 in a row this week in their 10th win of the season. How about Shedeur or Daniel Jones?
Shedeur.
Oh, wow. I would take Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is somebody who did take the New York Giants to the playoffs. He was in the MVP conversation. I still don't know if he's the long-term answer for the Colts. I think he's playing. He's got to continue and finish out the season. Could be a similar situation to Sam Darnold. What happened in Minnesota? But I would take Daniel Jones.
All right, you just said it right there. Shedeur Sanders or Sam Darnold?
I like Sam Darnold now. You know how I compared Sam Darnold to coming out of USC? Romo. And I like the way Darnold is playing, man. The confidence is there. So I would say Sam Darnold.
I think Sam Darnold.
Last one. Shedeur Sanders or Jalen Hurts?
Come on now, you talk about the ultimate winner, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was my number 2 quarterback in the 2020 class, right behind Joe Burrow. And what's fascinating about Hurts, if you go look at Joe Burrow's Heisman Trophy winning year, look who finished second in the Heisman Trophy voting, and look at his numbers. It was Jalen Hurts. It was insane. But Burrow put together an even more insane last season. So Hurts can play, and I love that Hurts can win any type of game necessary that's needed on that given day. So definitely Hurts 10 times over. I'll take Hurts over. If that's the game you want to play, give me Hurts was my top 3 quarterback coming into the season.
Oh, top 3.
I don't know if I'd go with top 3. I'd say top 6, top 7, because I do think but the thing I love about him is that he is a winner, and we talked about leadership early. Well, I think Jalen Hurts clearly at this point in his career, maybe Shedeur can develop into that type of leader, but I'd take Jalen Hurts all
That was
day.
a little bit of a heat check there for Emery to see how high he would place.
Well, I will say this. The reason why I love this segment is because I stood so firm in my evaluation, which I'm surprised a lot of evaluators don't do. Is it made me seem like I was super supportive. I also said you couldn't go wrong with Ward or Shedeur, and I feel like the noise that we're hearing is both extremes arguing with each other. When everybody else is kind of sitting in the middle, like, man, these two arguing across from us, and everybody else is trying to play it straightforward and really talk football.
So Emery, you put, I don't know, maybe you put him ahead of maybe 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, 12, something like that. What's his ceiling in your mind these next few years?
Here's what I compared them to, and the reason why I said the Joe Burrow comp is because he and Joe Burrow share the same elite trait that I love about quarterbacks, and Danny kind of touched on it with Jalen Hurts, is the fact that they have that it factor. When you couldn't tell if they're up 20, down 20, but you want the ball in their hands with a chance to go win the game, they'll come through. Now, the negative side of the Joe Burrow comp is what we've seen play out in college and also in the NFL for both guys. They both think they're a little bit more athletic than they are, and we see them take some monumental sacks. And therein lies the Burrow comp. People just look at it from, Burrow went to the Super Bowl, how could you compare him to him? Like, no, it was the reasons why I went with that comp is because of the two traits that they have, both positive and negative, that kind of share that similar skill set. Because to me, and I say to me, but Danny's right there as a former NFL quarterback. One of my favorite quarterbacks watching growing up in those Florida State teams. I always bring up the choke at Doak. That's my guy. So, but you have to have, and the reason why I like Danny growing up was the fact that he wasn't scared. And if you're not scared, I don't care if you're the biggest, the smallest, the fastest, whatever. Give me the dude that's not scared, and he go out there and win the game. So I like that in my quarterbacks. That's why I like Shedeur.
Shedeur or Danny Cannell?
There you go.
Listen, I've seen Danny Cannell perform. You know what I'm saying? We not go. Who led the Giants to the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? So listen, I'm gonna go with Danny Cannell because again, I watched the Florida State game as a 13-year-old, and I'm watching Danny do his thing. I was a big Danny supporter. I thought he was gonna be the Giants guy for a decade plus, but they were just hating on Danny. So give me Danny, man.
I was a 4th-round pick. He was a 5th round. I would take Shedeur over me all day long. I think the comp for Shedeur, and I think I had this coming out, was the quarterback that he just played, Geno Smith. Very similar style, like they're smooth in the pocket, they can move if they have to, and very similar to Geno Smith. Like I don't think there's a ceiling where Shedeur is an MVP candidate. Maybe it is. That would surprise me. But I also think he could play a long time in the NFL, like Geno Smith has, and have the type of career he has. So I think that's probably my comp for Shedeur.
Could you tell that Emory was ready for the segment? He has a Jackson State helmet behind him, a Colorado Buffaloes helmet behind him, and a Cleveland Browns, a couple of them, in fact, behind him, along with his Ragin' Cajuns. Emory, thanks, man. You can see Shedeur